Hi, welcome back to episode 3 of the DAL podcast. In this particular segment, we're going to talk about our projects. What context was there before creation of our project? So I'll start with you, Habi. What were you envisioning? What was the context before you birthed your project?
Yeah. So in Nigeria, we have issues of developments like every other country in the global south. So as I speak to you, there will be a child that is born in Nigeria that will not live to see another day because we have the second highest child mortality in the world. Our poverty, we have about 133 million people in poverty. And that is a challenge, and of course that is actually pushing people away from democracy. There's a lot of voter apathy. In our last election, we had just 20%, 26% thereabout of people coming to vote. The state I stay in Lagos. The last election, local government election, 2021, only 4% of our population came out to vote in the local election. 4%.
Really low.
That's ridiculously low. And it means that people do not believe in democracy again because it's not providing development. And so that's why we started our project. Our project is a promise tracker. It helps us monitor elected officials' promises, and we will try to advocate for the promises to be kept. Because during campaign season, the politicians, they know what the people want. They go to the feed to tell them, oh, I'll fix the road, I'll fix the hospital if you vote for me. And after the electioneering process, they do nothing. And that have caused this voter apathy that I've just painted before. And so we need to now focus more on democracy beyond elections. And that's what we do. And we try to track these promises and make sure that we increase the number of promises kept. And that's our mission. And that's why we've created this portal, a promise tracker meter, which actually look at how the elected officials are faring in office, so that CSOs, journalists can put pressure for the roads to be fixed, for infrastructure to be done, and that's all about the projects that we did in this lab, and it was quite a very, very interesting project, if you ask me.
Yeah, for sure. I think the whole country needs a promise tracker. It's an amazing tool that you can see how is the development of the government now. It's something really amazing. Yeah. Okay, I go next. Our project, the context. What about if you have you have a tool that teaches you politics and democracy in an easy way? What about, for example, how is the participation of the youth and adolescents in the politics in your country?
Because they are we have for you to vote in Nigeria, you have to be 18. So there's no participation in I think there's no participation of young people in. We don't even look at them because they have no voting rights. They have of course no say in quotes in our democratic process in Nigeria.
Okay, in our project, we want to change that. We want to introduce the youth to the democratic processes since they were really, really younger, because we need that they think they be aware about the importance of participating in democracy. And if the people have the knowledge since they are young, for sure, when they be adults, they will participate, understanding what's the real meaning of democracy and politics. Because at the end, we understand that democracy, it's synonymous of freedom. Because if people be free to choose their presidents, their Congress, for sure they will be free when they give their opinions. So in our foundation, it's called Fundación Niñas de Luz, uh, we work with girls that had economical problems, that live in a situation really hard, but we give them tools that helps them to understand better what's the context of our city, but much better we give them knowledge about menstrual health, gender equality. We teach them English. So with those tools, we want that they participate around the world and be aware about the problems that the country has, and to create leaderships, create leaders that can promote changes. That's what we want. So with our methodology, we create videos for social media, because we understand that most of the knowledge that they are catching nowadays are by social media. Yes or no? Yeah, absolutely. And through TikTok, to Instagram, we want that they be connected with us. We be connected with the knowledge that we give them. But more than that, we want to connect it, for example, with your projects that could be fantastic. Maybe we have one Habib that generates a promise tracker. Yeah, there in the country, because it's important that they understand what's happening around the world. And with our methodology, we try to be really clear with the message. Because, as I said before, it's when we talk about politics and democracy, people get bored. It's like, we are going to start to talk about the problems of the country. No. What about it if it's funny? What about if we laughed when we are talking about politics? Yeah, that's something important for us. And that's why we developed La Gracia de la Democracia, a methodology that uses puppets, theater, that use audiovisual productions, that use literature to share that knowledge, to make it easier and to promote politics and democracy in an easy way. Relax it. Yeah, we want to promote discussions. That's what we want. No matter if you're left party, right party, we promote discussions and we generate knowledge. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Something easier.
Yes. I think yes, and I think that it is very powerful. If you look at the global south, you'll see that we have not been imbibed well with democratic culture. So catching them young is such a powerful tool for us to create the future that we want to see. So like I think that is a powerful initiative. If you ask me, inclusive, because we are fighting for the shrinking civic space, a problem now. But if we also look at the young people who are going to be in these positions, all in this system later, and if they understand the principles of democracy, it means that we would leave a safer world for them, because they understand and do better than the leaders that we have now.
Yes, and sometimes adults think that children doesn't understand the politics and the democracy. And one day I was a teacher at school, and one little girl said, you are the new teacher? And I said, yes. And she said, okay, you have to be good because the last teacher gets fired because all the classroom told with their parents because they have a lot of problems with the last teacher. So they connect each other, talk with the parents, and the other teacher was fired. So imagine that capacity that children have. So what about if we promote more? So this is our job.
Well, exactly similar to what you're saying. Young people get bored, and in our context, young people were found to be more tokenized by the adults because they were not meaningfully participating. So it's more like the older folks were buying votes from the younger ones because the younger ones do not realize the strength and the power that they carry. So they were being tokenized. To that effect, we came up with the project that states promoting participation of young people in democratic governance. So to the advocacy and the teaching, just like you, we did not just restrict it to digital governance. The extra other courses that we teach them, like how to grow an enterprise, so that they do not become dependent on handouts from politicians. They should find something else to do in their quest to learn leadership skills, their quest to be a citizen who subscribes to democratic values. So that's the main thing that we're trying to address when we're looking at creating this project. Is we received overwhelming support from the young people, and we wish to continue doing that because it's beyond, like for the peri-urban and urban townships, it's easier, but deep down in the rural, it's a whole progressive thing that's supposed to be ongoing if we're going to be inclusive at the end of the day. So yeah.
Well, I can continue because catch them young, they say it, right? So we decided to create the human rights course on Kyrgyz language. Kyrgyz is our national language, and because of some historical background, we don't have many resources on democracy and what's our language. So this was like an easy solution, but at the same time, I love that the simplicity and the elegance of the solution, because now we have the product that can last for many years. I will tell a little bit about organizations. Civics Public Foundation was there in Kyrgyzstan for more than 20 years, protecting civil rights. And our mission is actually to promote the democracy through the development of civil consciousness. And we understood that how can we develop civil consciousness? Is there no definition of what is civil rights and what is human rights in people whatsoever? So that was the idea for project.
Luis, can you tell us about your context and your projects?
Through the Digital Action Lab and with the support of the Digital Action Lab and Civicus, we were able to develop a prototype of a digital solution with the aim of reducing the gap between the communities affected by the violence and the local authorities representative and decision makers from local governments and international organizations and other institutions, with the aim of supporting a long-term sustainable development of communities and promoting the participation of communities in the process of decision making.
So I feel in context of Nepal, there is a narrative that is setting in the minds of people that if there is a protest, it could be a boiling kind of a protest. So always the protest and movement are stereotypes into the violent form, because while during our socialization we have often seen that, but we want to challenge that narrative and want to transform the movement from violent kind into the peaceful, creative way. So we want to let the bystanders know, we want to let the stakeholders know that by celebrating the festivals, by doing the parades, by doing the creative kind of activities, we can also do the protests. And lately we have been seeing all those things in the protest of Nepal as well. So our initiative is all about empowering the grassroots leaders and campaigners as well as movement builders to know about the various kind of tactics and strategies that they can integrate into their roadmap of protest and movement, so that it could be more fun way and engaging way as well. Similarly, in addition to that, we have formed the interactive map and the learning corner. So these things will serve as the digital transformation kind of thing for the movement building in Nepal. So right now, we have almost trained 250 plus movement leaders so that they can creatively organize and mobilize, so that they can amplify their voices. So that's how it's going on throughout this project. So would you like to add on this?
Yeah, sure. So in my organization, KO Women Trust, we work with women and when you talk about democracy, women are left behind somehow. One, because we live in a patriarchal community, and because of that, women are just left behind in information and so much, and it has translated to the democratic aspect as well. So to alleviate this, KU Women Trust came up with a project called Empowering Indigenous Women Participation in Governance. So we just try to empower them so that they can be able to take part in public participation, and those that were inspired enough to eventually stand up and take these leadership positions. And we did this in different ways, empowering them both in physical platforms and as well as digital platforms. So we took advantage of the radio. We also used voice messaging service because our women are not on the electronic platforms. They're not using electronic devices, so because of that, they're not being able to join the media like Twitter and stuff. That is where digital transformation is happening a lot.
What about if, while we hear Ahmed, I invite you to bring haters? Ahmed, can you explain more about your project?
And thank you for your answer. And actually, it reminded me that I should give some context about what is happening in my country as well. So, did you guys hear about the foreign agent law? What? Foreign agent law? Have you heard about it? So this is the law that Russian government came up in some years ago, and our government just copied it. So this law pushes narrative that all NGOs with the finance from abroad are foreign agents that push some Western or whatever agenda and actually harming the country. And this narrative goes pretty well. A lot of people in Kyrgyzstan think that something is wrong with civil society organizations, something wrong with journalists and activists, because government tried to portray them as not as the partners of the development, but the foreign agents. Yeah. So that's why it was more important for us to bring our own narrative to tell why NGOs and civil society organizations are actually important and why they're really important part of the democratic processes. So that's why we came up with the project that I told.
I have a question related with your project is, what's the percentage of the people who speak Kyrgyz and the percentage that the people who speak Russian? Because that create divisions in your country?
Yes. Actually, there's big division. I think most of Russian-speaking population they live in the capital of the country, which Bishkek is really small percentage, and the majority, like 5.5 million of people that lives in other areas, rural areas, they speak in Kyrgyz, and they don't have access to many information about many things. So we decided that just to inform them about their rights is going to be a really good first step.
Yes. So I think that just to come to the end of this episode, maybe can we define our projects with one word?
I will start. Education. Future.
Bold.
Puppets.
You.
Empowering.
Freedom.
Okay, it was the project. We want to invite you to continue hearing us, watching these videos, and participate in this kind of programs that is really important. And for sure, see you in the next episode.
Hey.